In April 2019, Norris joined me in Kathmandu, Nepal. There were three things that we had decided to do. One, he wanted to see Kathmandu and all that it offers. Two, we were going to do some recording in southern Nepal of some libraries. And three, his big one was to do a trek partway up the Everest Trail. Our goal was to have our picture taken with Mount Everest in the background. We got to see the classic cows in the middle of the road, traffic going around it, and of course, we got to see the typical life of a traffic cop, not a job that I'd want. We traveled to Pashupatinath Temple, where daily cremations take place. Here, family members wash their dead loved ones beside the river. In Nepali culture, it is an honor to be cremated at this temple and have your ashes swept into the Bagmati River. As the washing of the body occurs, the funeral pyre has been well decorated and the firewood has been placed. With the priest overseeing, the deceased relative is placed onto the funeral pyre, and after the ceremony is complete, the priest lights the fire and ensures the body is burned completely. As a final experience in Kathmandu, Norris and I went to Durbar Square, the site of the old royal palace. After wandering about, we were fortunate enough to wait inside the courtyard and receive a blessing from the elusive living goddess as she makes her presence known for only a few minutes a day. We started our trek to see Mount Everest by having to travel 8 hours at night to reach a small airport. It is here where we catch a small airplane capable of landing at Lukla Airport. It's a muddy mess here at Ramchad Airport, and our flight's been delayed for a day because of wet weather. As we unloaded from the van, we were stuck waiting with 100 other people for the fog to lift and the rain to stop before we could catch our aircraft to Lukla. Airplanes are getting ready. We've had about a 5-hour delay, and we're getting ready to roll. Lukla Airport is at an altitude of 9,300 feet, and our trek will take us up to 12,800 feet. Once we spend a night in Pakding, we will climb 3,500 feet in one day to arrive at Namach Bazaar. Wish me luck. Downtown Lukla. Hey Norris, how was the flight in?
It was good.
Not bad?
Not bad.
Due to our delayed flights to get to Lukla, we had lost a day to complete our trek to view Everest. At 66 years old, I was a little concerned about what I was going to be able to do. Our plan was to hike up and down the trails and cross ravines by way of suspension bridges and go about 6 kilometers from Lukla to Pakding. After leaving Lukla Airport in early afternoon, we followed a trail along the mountain valley, and we generally dropped about 200 meters in elevation from the airport to Pakding. We had to share the trail with the many porters and the jumpki trains. Jumpkis are a crossbreed of a yak and oxen pack animal. The porters and the jumpki trains carry supplies for local businesses along the trail, and they can go all the way up to Everest Base Camp. The porters will spend their evening in the tea house, which is simply a less expensive version of a guest house. Tea in a tea house.
Yeah, tea in a tea house.
And we just had sal
roti.
roti.
Yeah, look at here.
Yeah, that's the sal roti.
Yeah, this is the cell roti.
Sal roti.
This is really delicious.
Oh, delicious
Yeah.
cake donut made over an open fire. So we're in another valley. We're going to cross, and then we're going to head up the hill to our place where we're going to stay for the night. As we're leaving Pak Ding, this is one of the resorts en route. And if you look way up the mountain, you'll see the Buddhist monastery. As we left Pak Ding in the morning, it was rainy, cold, and windy, and we had a long journey ahead of us. These guys are called a japki. Half ox, half cow. Can you imagine being a porter, carrying that load across the suspension bridge in the rain and the cold north wind, and you're en route to base camp? On our second day, our goal was to reach Namach Bazaar, which is at 3,440 meters in elevation, or just around 12,000 feet. We were going to have to travel about 7 kilometers horizontally and climb vertically about 800 meters, or about 2,600 feet in one day. I was hoping to survive the climb. And there's the suspension bridge that we just came across. Finally, our first sign of Namach. Never thought I'd get here. 3,400 meters. Without Norris's encouragement and our porter doing the work, I wouldn't have made it. Namach Bazaar at 6 in the morning. This is where we spent the night. So we climbed above Namach, but I just want to show you the next trail we're going to take on. And you can see people hiking up the mountainside, and that takes us up to Everest View Hotel. And that's where we'll have the best view of Everest. There's the valley we hiked up. What's it like up there?
Kind of cold, actually.
Namach below us. Halfway up towards Everest View Hotel. There's some incredible building going on with some stonemasons as they chip the rocks away to form nice square stones to build with. The last leg of our journey for this morning is up to the Everest View Hotel at the top. We're on the trail to Everest View Hotel, and you can see Everest in the background right about there. Here, Norris and I take a few minutes at the Tenzing Memorial Museum. Here's our fabulous guide, him, and our porter, Jeet, just hanging out close to the hotel. We did it. We achieved our goal. You can see Everest in the background. We made it to the hotel, 12,700 feet and Everest in the background. We left the hotel, arrived at Kumjum, we spent the night, and then started our descent the next day in snow. This is the village we come to. This is where we're going to spend the night. We're going to visit the monastery over there. This is the kitchen in the guest house that we're staying in. Fourth day, we're just leaving the village of Kumjum. We're in the town square. There's the Buddhist stupa in the background. As we leave the village, there's Mount Kumbila in the background. But what's most incredible is this pathway And these are all Tibetan monk carvings from hundreds of years ago. And they're all over Nepal. And they're phenomenal that the Tibetan monks centuries ago carved them, and they're all around. As we are leaving the village, getting ready to descend, Norris and I both knew that we had a fabulous trip to Nepal, and we will return again. In the bottom right corner, you can see the Lukla airstrip, and we followed the path that you can see as we're starting to move. Soon you will see Pakding. That was where we spent our first night. Then we went from Pakding all the way up to Namche, which was a fairly exhausting journey in that it was wet, cold, and windy. And the last part of the journey is pretty much straight up to get to Namche Bazaar. We spent the night, got up in the morning, climbed up to Everest View Hotel. We got to see Mount Everest, went off to Kumjum and spent the night there. Then we returned to Lukla Airport.